Capricorn, September 18th is not just a date. It's a doorway, a trap, and a miracle all at once. The universe has drawn a line in the sand for you, and on this day, you will face a choice that decides the next 7 years of your life. Ignore the signs, and everything you've worked for could collapse in front of your eyes. But if you recognize them, a door to wealth, power, healing, and unstoppable breakthroughs will swing wide open. On September 18th, 4 shocking signs will rise in your path. They will come disguised as chaos, as trials, as whispers from the shadows, and as blessings hidden in plain sight. Each one carries a message from the universe, a message only Capricorns strong enough to face truth will understand. This is not just about destiny, it's about survival. And here's the warning: the 4th sign is the one that even ancient mystics refuse to reveal openly, because it is so powerful it can shift your entire reality in one heartbeat. Stay with me until the end, because if you miss even one sign, your miracle could pass you by forever. Capricorn, let's set the stage for what's really happening on September 18th, 2025. This is not just another transit, not just another passing day. This is the moment your ruler, Saturn, the planet of discipline, karma, and destiny, takes its place at what can only be described as a karmic checkpoint. Imagine it like the universe pausing time, holding up a mirror and demanding an answer from your soul. Have you truly learned? Have you truly grown? Are you ready for the next chapter? Or are you still chained to the past? Saturn has always been your greatest teacher, Capricorn. You know the weight of responsibility, the burden of patience, and the struggle of climbing mountains that others are too afraid to face. But on September 18th, the mountain isn't just external, it's inside you. Every fear you've carried, every lesson you avoided, every mistake you refused to face, they will surface. This is not punishment. This is Saturn's way of asking, are you ready for freedom? Or do you need another cycle of suffering until you understand? Think about it. Since 2020, you've been carrying heavy karmic lessons, relationships tested, finances blocked, emotions suppressed. You've been pushed into situations where patience felt endless and breakthroughs felt delayed. That wasn't random. It was Saturn's training ground, preparing you for this checkpoint. September 18th is the day the exam begins. And Capricorn, you don't get to skip this exam. You either pass or you repeat. And here's where the tension deepens. This isn't just about astrology. This is about soul survival. You see, when Saturn moves, destinies shift. When Saturn tests, lives transform. For Capricorns who carry this planet's energy in their very DNA, the stakes are higher than anyone else's. You are not just climbing for yourself. You're climbing for generations before and after you. The choices you make on this date ripple through bloodlines, through history, through the very fabric of your legacy. That's why the air around September 18th will feel heavier. You may notice dreams turning vivid, as if ancestors are whispering warnings or encouragement. You may feel an inner pull to slow down, reflect and listen, because the signs will not shout. They will whisper. And if you're too distracted, too stubborn, or too afraid to hear them, the door may close before you even notice it was open. But let's not only talk about danger, because with Saturn, there is always balance, challenge and reward, suffering and breakthrough. If you've been disciplined, if you've endured the storms without losing your core values, then September 18th could mark the day you step into unshakable power. Imagine finally breaking free from cycles of loss, betrayal, or self-doubt. Imagine doors opening that you thought were sealed shut. Imagine feeling aligned with the universe in a way so powerful you no longer question whether you're on the right path. You know you are. Yet here is where the suspense sharpens. This balance is fragile. This day is precise. And the universe does not bend its laws for anyone. If you show up ready, with faith, humility, and awareness, you pass through the gate and rise into new blessings. But if you ignore the whispers, deny the truth, or let fear take control, Saturn will lock the door, and you'll be forced to repeat the cycle until the next checkpoint. And Capricorn, that next checkpoint won't come until 2027. That means 3 more years of repeating old struggles, 3 more years of circling the same mountain, facing the same trials, feeling the same weight. So the choice is yours. The universe will not decide for you. Saturn will not save you or condemn you. It will simply mirror back what you've chosen. This is the razor's edge between destiny and delay, between breakthrough and collapse. But here's the twist. This is the final checkpoint before 2027. Pass it, and you rise into a future brighter than you can imagine. Fail it, and you repeat the same suffering, the same delays, and the same heartbreaks for years to come. The question is, will you recognize the signs in time? Capricorn, the first shocking sign that your destiny is shifting on September 18th is what I call the shadow breaking sign. This is the moment when the karmic shadows that have followed you for years finally begin to crack. These are not small struggles. These are the deep-rooted cycles that have haunted you in silence. Financial instability that always seemed to return no matter how hard you worked. Toxic relationships that drained your energy even when you thought you had cut ties. Hidden fears buried so deep that they kept you playing small when your soul was meant to rise. On September 18th, these shadows won't politely step aside. They will break. And breakage, Capricorn, never looks pretty at first. That's why the universe warns you. The beginning of liberation will appear as chaos. Imagine walls crumbling, storms raging, and old systems collapsing right before your eyes. You may think life is falling apart, but in truth, it's falling into alignment. Think of it like this. You've been carrying chains around your ankles for years. They're heavy, they're rusted, and they've cut your skin. You've gotten so used to them, you barely notice them anymore. But Saturn, your ruler, is the breaker of illusions. On this day, those chains will shatter. The sound of chains snapping can feel violent. The shock of freedom can feel painful, and when the shadow leaves, it doesn't whisper, it screams. What does this look like in real life? Maybe the job that's been suffocating you suddenly ends. At first, panic strikes. What will I do now? But beneath that fear is freedom, the opening for the career that actually matches your soul. Maybe a relationship that has drained you finally erupts into conflict. It hurts, it burns, and you may feel betrayed. But beneath that heartbreak is clarity, the realization that you were never meant to settle for half love. Maybe your health, your habits, or even your thoughts hit a breaking point. Old addictions, self-sabotaging cycles, destructive routines, they can't survive this vibration anymore. And though the breakdown feels terrifying, it is also the first spark of your breakthrough. Capricorn, here's the hard truth. Before the miracle comes, the shadow must leave. And when shadows leave, they don't leave quietly. That's why many people mistake this sign for punishment. They think, why is everything falling apart? When in reality, it is the chains being ripped away. This is where your strength comes in. You are Saturn's child. You were born to endure storms and climb mountains others cannot face. This breaking will not destroy you. It will reveal you. The universe is saying, enough. No more delays, no more illusions, no more carrying the weight that isn't yours. And here's the suspense twist you must remember. The chaos that comes first will look like destruction, when in reality, it's the universe ripping off the chains. Don't fear the cracks. Don't resist the collapse. Because those cracks are letting the light in. That collapse is clearing space for the new. And if you can see through the illusion of loss, you'll realize that what's being taken from you was never yours to keep. Capricorn, this is the first sign that your destiny is about to change forever. The shadows are breaking, the chains are falling, and though the storm feels violent, it is the sound of your freedom arriving. The question is, will you trust the process, or will you cling to the rubble of what's meant to be gone? Capricorn, the second shocking sign you will face on September 18th is what I call the Saturn Trial Sign. This is the moment when the universe tests you, not through strangers, not through random events, but through someone close, someone you trust, someone you've opened your heart, your time, or your energy to. This is not an accident. This is Saturn, your ruler, using relationships as the sharpest mirror of your soul. The Saturn trial often shows up as betrayal, disappointment, or sudden conflict. It may be a friend who questions your worth, a partner who triggers old wounds, or even a family member who seems to turn against you at the worst possible time. The sting is not just in what they do, but in the fact that it comes from someone you thought you could count on. And in that moment, the voice inside you will roar, "Why them? Why now? Why me?" But here's the hidden truth. The universe doesn't test you with what doesn't matter. It tests you through the people who carry weight in your soul, because only then do your true reactions reveal themselves. Will you react with anger, with bitterness, with revenge? Or will you pause, breathe, and rise above, refusing to let the test drag you into old cycles? Capricorn, understand this clearly. This is not a test you can skip. Saturn is precise, and when it gives you a trial, it is meant to reveal your progress. Every time you've been betrayed in the past, every time you've been pushed to anger, every time you've reacted instead of responded, all of those moments were rehearsals for this one day. September 18th is where the final exam is handed to you. And here is the dark warning. If you react in anger, you failed the test. Not because anger makes you weak, but because anger ties you to the very chain Saturn is trying to break. React with rage, and you reinforce the cycle of betrayal. Respond with awareness, and you prove that you've outgrown it. Picture it like this. Saturn places a fire in front of you. If you panic, you burn. If you pause, you learn. If you walk with patience, you pass through untouched. This is the alchemy of Capricorn, the ability to take pain, betrayal, and disappointment and turn them into fuel for transformation. Now here comes the suspense twist, and it may shock you. This enemy, this betrayer, this tester may secretly be the messenger carrying your miracle. Yes, the very person who wounds you may be the one whose action pushes you into the doorway you were afraid to step through. A betrayal may free you from a partnership that was secretly blocking your destiny. A rejection may open the space for the blessing that was waiting to enter. A harsh word may awaken your deepest strength and push you to prove what you're truly capable of. The Saturn trial is never what it seems. On the surface, it looks like someone turning against you. Underneath, it is the universe turning for you. Saturn uses others to push you into choices you would not make on your own. Choices that free you, elevate you, and align you with your destiny. So on September 18th, when this trial arrives, and it will, remember this. Don't look at the betrayer. Look at the lesson. Don't waste your energy asking, why did they do this to me? Instead, ask, what is the universe trying to show me through this? Capricorn, this is the second sign that your destiny is shifting, and though it may sting, though it may burn, though it may feel unfair, it is proof that Saturn believes you're ready for the next level, because Saturn never tests the unworthy. It only tests those it is preparing for greatness. Will you rise above the betrayal, or will you let anger chain you to the past? The choice is yours, and the way you answer will determine whether the miracle moves toward you or away from you. Capricorn. Now we enter the deep waters of prophecy, the kind of truths that were whispered in temples, sealed in scrolls, and hidden from the eyes of the unprepared. Because September 18th, 2025 is not only a date marked by planet, it is a date woven into the ancient Saturn cycle, a cycle that reaches back through centuries, even millennia. Saturn is not just your ruling planet, it is the great keeper of time, karma, and destiny. Ancient astrologers called Saturn the gatekeeper of reality, the one who decides what is allowed to pass into manifestation and what must remain in the shadows. Every choice you make, every lesson you learn or avoid, is recorded in Saturn's ledger. Nothing is forgotten, nothing is ignored. And once every great cycle, Saturn opens what can only be described as the destiny door. The year 2025 marks the opening of one of these doors. It is tied to an ancient alignment that happens only once in 1,000 years, a cycle so rare, so powerful, that mystics in Babylon, Egypt, and Vedic India wrote of it with both awe and they knew that when Saturn reached this alignment, humanity would face tests that determined the rise and fall of empires, the rewriting of bloodlines, and the awakening of chosen souls. Capricorn, you are not just included in this prophecy, you are at the center of it. Why? Because you are Saturn's child. You carry its discipline, its resilience, its unshakable willpower within your very spirit. When others break under pressure, you endure. When others flee from responsibility, you take the weight on your shoulders. And that is why, in times of cosmic turning points, Saturn looks directly at Capricorns and asks, will you rise or will you fall? Now let me share with you a myth that has echoed for ages. The Greeks spoke of Cronus, their name for Saturn, as both a tyrant and a liberator. Cronus devoured his children out of fear of being overthrown, yet it was through that very fear that the next generation of gods rose to power. Hidden in this myth is a truth. Saturn's lessons feel harsh, even merciless, but they are the very trials that birth greatness. You, Capricorn, are living this myth now. You are both the tested and the destined. In the East, Vedic astrologers wrote of Shani, the name for Saturn, as the planet of karmic justice. They feared Shani's gaze, for it revealed every flaw, every mistake, every weakness. But they also honored Shani as the one who freed the righteous from bondage and elevated the soul beyond illusion. This duality, fear and liberation, suffering and reward, is the essence of what you are walking into on September 18th. And here's the chilling part. Ancient records suggest that certain prophecies were deliberately sealed away, not destroyed, not erased, sealed. Why? Because the knowledge was too powerful. Because if souls like you, Capricorn, fully understood the gates that Saturn opens, you would no longer be controlled by fear, limitation, or manipulation. You would rise. You would break the systems designed to keep you small. This is why you may feel, even now, that something inside you is stirring, like a memory you can't fully access, like a knowing that refuses to be silenced. You are awakening not just for yourself, but as part of a larger design. You are standing at the threshold of 1,000-year prophecy, and the universe is waiting to see if you will walk through the door. But here's the suspense twist you must never forget. These prophecies were sealed in fear, because they knew Capricorns like you would rise if the truth was revealed. That's why this moment matters. That's why September 18th carries such intensity. The world may not see it, but your soul does. This is your invitation to step into the prophecy that has been waiting centuries for you. The shadows are breaking, the trials are appearing, the destiny door is opening. And Capricorn, the next move is yours. Will you carry the legacy of chains, or will you rise as the one Saturn has been shaping all along? Capricorn, we've arrived at the third shocking sign. This is the one you've been waiting for. The one that flips the struggle, the waiting, and the long tests into a sudden flash of divine breakthrough. It's what I call the hidden miracle sign. And it's not just any blessing. It's the kind that sneaks into your life so quietly, so unexpectedly, that at first you may not even recognize it for what it is. Yes, you've been tested. Yes, you've carried heavy karmic weights. Yes, you've endured betrayals, losses, and lonely nights wondering if the universe has forgotten you. But Capricorn, destiny never forgets. It watches in silence, and then, when you least expect it, the door creaks open, and here it comes, a sudden flow of blessings. The appearance of the hidden miracle. This blessing can take many forms. For some of you, it will be money, an opportunity, a payment, a long overdue reward finally showing up in your hands. For others, it may come as recognition. Suddenly, people who once overlooked you, dismissed you, or rejected you, begin to speak your name with respect. And for a rare few, it will come as a destined opportunity, the kind that feels scripted by higher hands, as if the universe itself set the stage for you to step into your new role. It will feel fated. It will feel unshakable. It will feel like the moment you've been preparing for your whole life. Emotional weight. But here's the thing, Capricorn, this blessing is not just about what comes into your life. It's about how it feels when it arrives. You may feel goosebumps. You may feel a strange calm in your chest, even before the blessing appears in the physical. You may even dream of it, days before it unfolds. Why? Because your spirit already knows. Your higher self recognizes the miracle long before your human eyes see it. And yet, in this fragile moment, there is danger, suspense, twist. Because here's the twist, Capricorn. This blessing is fragile, like glass, like breath, like morning dew. It is real, it is powerful, but it can also slip away in an instant. How? Through one single moment of self-doubt. If you question whether you're worthy, if you shrink back into old fears, if you whisper, maybe this isn't for me, the universe listens. And just as quickly as the door opened, it can close again. This is why destiny calls this a test of reception. Because receiving is harder than it looks. It demands trust. It demands surrender. It demands belief, building hope. Capricorn, you've always been the mountain climber, the one who takes the long road, the one who works while others sleep. But now, destiny asks something new of you, not to climb, not to fight, but to receive, to open your hands, to accept what's being offered without apology, without guilt, without hesitation. This is your miracle. This is the universe finally balancing the scales in your favor. This is the proof that all those nights of doubt, all those sacrifices, all those battles were not in vain. Warning layer. Do not dismiss the small beginnings. The blessing may not appear as a giant windfall right away. It may be a seed, a phone call, an invitation, a chance encounter. But remember, the oak tree hides inside the acorn. If you dismiss the seed, you forfeit the tree. If you doubt the sign, you miss the miracle, final emotional push. So Capricorn, when the hidden miracle appears, whether in money, recognition, or opportunity, pause, take a deep breath, say yes, say thank you, and claim it as yours. Because destiny is not playing small anymore, and neither should you. The hidden miracle is here, waiting in the shadows of your story. But only you can decide whether it blooms or whether it vanishes. Capricorn, we have arrived at the fourth and final shocking sign, and this one is unlike anything before it. It is not just a test. It is not just a blessing. It is not just a moment of recognition. This is what the ancients called the final destiny gate, and the date has been written, September 18th, 2025. This single 24-hour window carries the weight of 7 years of karmic alignment. What you choose, how you respond, and what you dare to step into on this day will echo until the year 2032 and beyond. Capricorn, destiny is not whispering anymore. It is roaring the prophetic way. Why this date? Because Saturn, your ruling planet, the great teacher of time and karma, will strike a rare alignment, opening what astrologers and mystics describe as a 7-year mirror. This mirror reflects back the choices you make. If you step into courage, faith, and boldness, the mirror shows you a path of elevation, abundance, and recognition that will continue to expand until 2032. But if you hesitate, if you allow fear or doubt to cloud your actions, the mirror reflects stagnation. 7 more years of waiting, 7 more years of lessons repeated, 7 more years of delay. This is why they call it the final destiny gate suspense layer. And here's the suspense, Capricorn. The universe will not make this gate obvious. It will not be marked with fireworks. It will not be announced with trumpets. Instead, it may appear disguised. A decision about money that feels risky, a relationship crossroads where loyalty and truth are tested, or a bold opportunity that scares you as much as it excites you, and you will only have 24 hours to act. No time for overthinking, no time for second guessing, no time for excuses. It will be faith or it will be fear. The twist. But here's the twist, Capricorn. Not every Capricorn will pass this gate. Only those who act with faith and courage will unlock the 7-year destiny cycle of abundance, recognition, and divine flow. The rest. They will remain on the same karmic loop, watching opportunities pass by, feeling the sting of almost, and carrying the weight of delay until 2032. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to wake you up, because destiny will not wait forever. This is the gate. This is the day. This is the choice. Emotional build. Capricorn, the world has underestimated you long enough. They've seen your silence and mistaken it for weakness. They've watched your patience and mistaken it for passivity. But what they don't realize is this. You have been preparing for this exact moment your entire life. Every heartbreak toughened you. Every setback trained you. Every betrayal sharpened you. And now, on September 18th, the final destiny gate opens to reveal who you really are. Will you shrink or will you rise? The choice is yours, but the consequences will ripple through the next 7 years of your life. Prophetic climax. So hear this, Capricorn. When the opportunity comes, take it. When the decision appears, trust your gut. When the door opens, walk through it. Do not hesitate. Do not delay. Do not look back. Because this is your prophecy. This is your test. This is your moment. And only the Capricorns who step forward with faith and courage will inherit the future they were born to claim. The final destiny gate opens on September 18th. Will you pass through it, or will you stay behind? Capricorn, now that you've seen all 4 shocking signs, you cannot leave this prophecy floating in your mind. You must activate it. The universe responds to action, not hesitation. And September 18th is not a day to sit still. It is a day to declare, to align, and to claim what is already yours. Here's how you activate. Step 1. comment your symbol below. Write in the comments right now. This is not just for engagement. It's a declaration to the universe that you are ready to burn away the old and step into the fire of your destiny. Step 2. Speak the affirmation out loud. Say these words with your full chest. I claim my miracle. I step through the final destiny gate. My next 7 years are blessed, protected, and aligned. Step 3. Hold the number 777 in your awareness. This is your code. 777 is the number of alignment, the number of divine completion, the number of doors opening where walls once stood. On September 18th, whenever you see 707717 or any sequence of sevens, know that the universe is signaling that you are on track. But here's the urgency. This ritual must be done before September 18th ends. If you wait until tomorrow, the gate will already be sealed. Saturn does not wait. Destiny does not pause. The window closes in 24 hours, so act boldly. Don't just watch, don't just listen. Declare it, write it, speak it, live it. Because the Capricorns who step forward in faith on this day will watch their destiny shift right in front of them. It could be the phone call that changes everything, the money that suddenly flows, the recognition you've been working for finally appearing. The future bends toward those who take action. And right now, Capricorn, it's your move. Do the ritual, claim your miracle, and watch as September 18th becomes the day the universe rewrote your story forever. Capricorn, the hourglass is almost empty, and your destiny is trembling in the balance. The universe does not reveal signs to just anyone. It revealed them to you. That means you are chosen, marked, and prepared for this moment. But here's the truth. Prophecies are nothing without action. You've seen the 4 shocking signs. You know September 18th is the final destiny gate. If you ignore them, your future will freeze, locked in the same patterns, the same struggles, the same delays. But if you claim them, if you step forward in faith and courage, then your life will never be the same again. This is your crossroad, Capricorn. The choice is yours. Fear or faith, hesitation or destiny. If you are ready to claim what is written for you, drop a Capricorn sign with a fire emoji in the comments right now. Let the universe see your declaration. Share this prophecy with another Capricorn who needs the warning. And subscribe now, because your next awakening is already written, and I will reveal it here first. The gate is open. The signs are clear. Now, it's your move, Capricorn.